This is Dr. Rhadi Ferguson, 2004 Olympian, four-time national judo champion and Brazilian Jiu-jitsu black belt. And right now I have one of my clients on the phone, one of my clients that a lot of people are not really aware about. This particular individual has I don't even have a problem saying it. In terms of his coaching, he has gone from zero to hero. And I don't think it's all because of me. I think it's also because he was able to use his professional background and the expertise that he has as an attorney and kind of blend that in with the coaching and the coaching practices and professionalism, which he has already come to the table with, to some of the things which I have taught him. And he and I, through the marriage that has been combined from, I can just say from our cognitive currencies, if you will, have provided a wealth of information for his kids. His kids went from losing everything to winning. He has 3 national judo champions in his place. I don't think his kids have ever lost a match in his state in Brazilian Jiu-jitsu. It's to the point where he's kind of poking and prodding me to promote his kids in Brazilian Jiu-jitsu. I had to put my paperwork into the IBJJF because I just got my second-degree black belt from Ricardo Laborio, so I have to get that done so I can start promoting his kids, because his kids have been beating and, just spanking people all up and down the state in where he lives. I have been privileged to coach this individual since, I would say, 2005 to now, and I even write the curriculum for his school. His individual's name is Jay Foster. Jay, welcome to the phone call.
Well, thank you for that introduction. That was very, very nice. But I can tell you the transformation, what you gave me was incredible with what I saw with my ability to coach both judo and jiu-jitsu. And it has really just changed my life. I say this all the time. In fact, I write it on my website all the time, that discovering the secrets about judo and jiu-jitsu, and everybody thinks they know it, and they think their instructor is great wherever they're at. And what I find, which I found in myself, is I wasted years of my life taking instruction from instructors who had no clue. And that's why you always hear me talking about I'm on this mission to stop bad instructors. And it's because they don't go out and learn. And when you talk about what I did apply for my law practice, I did this much. In my law practice, for example, I go out and learn from the best. I don't learn from the local slut rock down the street who's not any good. I go learn from the guy that has hit more $100 million cases in the country than anyone else. That's the guy I go learn from. That's who teaches me. So I was on a mission, and that's how I found you, Dr. Ferguson, because I was on a mission to find the secrets, because I was tired. When I was competitive in judo years and years ago, I got frustrated because I'd win some, I'd lose some, but I was never consistent with winning. I had no clue. I mean, my instructors would tell me, stupid things like, you just need to go attack more. I mean, Kazushi. That's the other one I love.
Kazushi, right. Ki-ai.
Oh, my God. I just, and you're doing something you love, and you just want to kill somebody after you learn these secrets that you revealed to me. That, I just can't even describe to you how frustrating. And I'm telling you right now, there are guys in my area who are supposedly good BJJ instructors and good judo instructors, and I'm telling you right now, we are beating the crap out of them at every tournament. I will make one correction. Priscilla did lose one jiu-jitsu match, and Angelica lost one jiu-jitsu match, rather. Both of them lost one. But they're in the boys division, and they're beating the crap out of all those boys. My JR hasn't lost a jiu-jitsu match, I think, in 5 years now. I don't think a point has even been scored on him. And we aren't doing all those fancy moves, and that's one of the secrets you revealed to me. You're not doing those 25-step YouTube moves that everybody loves to see on YouTube. We're doing basics.
That's it.
It's basics.
Okay, let me say this. Because there's people who are going to listen to this joint and they're going to, this is marketing, and he's talking about some secrets. Listen, I'm going to give you the exact secret, since you don't think it's a secret and you just think it's all about hard work. Okay, it's not about hard work. You have to go to a professional and get the information that a professional has, and then after that you have to do it. Now watch this. This is not a game. We're going to Jay's. Either Jay has come by my house or I go to his house. By the time Jay finishes with me for 1 or 2 days, the check is anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000, depending on how long I stay. Am I lying, Jay?
No, not at all.
Okay, listen. Jay's kids have gone from losing to winning. He has 3 national championships inside his house. Am I lying?
No, that's absolutely correct. Let me say this too. I want to add this in. I don't think people understand when you say losing. They need to understand this because most of these people on this call aren't going to know me. They know you. I'm a little midget. I'm about 5 foot nut and a $105. And when my son first started, he was also very small. Mom's small. I'm small. So everybody's inherited. Guess what? Being midgets. And especially even in judo and even in jiu-jitsu, you end up in a weight class that is the lowest weight class, but you're still underweight, in some cases by 10, 15 pounds. And we were taking absolute beatings. I mean, beatings for years. And that's what sent me on a mission. And I just kept Googling and Googling and Googling and Googling until I found you. That's what happened.
Let me tell you this, okay? This is also a fact. His kids will practice like most of you will not practice. How many repetitions of Uchimata has JR done in the past 30 days?
4,537, exactly.
How many will he do in the next 30 days?
He's switching to Osotogari, and he's going to do 4,537. Because of school, that's the only time that we have. We would do more. I
have had clients who have switched up on doing what I do and say some have to add to it, some have to deviate from it. I've been training with JR, with Jay Foster since 2005, 2006. Do you change anything that I give you?
Not anything. I dot the I's and cross the T's and practice the exact same way you taught us. In fact, the Osotogari and the Uchimata came from you. I mean, it's exactly the way you taught us.
Do your kids still people with Osoto?
Yes. In fact, well, I mean, I'll just give you an example. At the Mississippi State BJJ Championships, one of the local instructors who's supposed to be great, and this unbelievable BJJ instructor, he's supposed to be great, we went out there, and literally this match is over in probably a minute 15. Now, he is thrown with Osotogari, exactly the way we set it up, thrown with Osotogari, he's pinned, he's armbarred, and his elbow gets popped, all inside a minute 15.
I'm not laughing because the kid's arm got popped. Just for those people who are listening to me laugh. I'm laughing because it is this easy. Now,
oh my God!
Understand this. I'm in the process for those people who are listening. I'm in the process to come into Mississippi on a more frequent basis than I come now. I come to Mississippi maybe about every 3 months. I'm going to get to the point where I'm going to come to Mississippi about every 6 weeks. When that happens, I guarantee you, the Jay Foster's Martial Arts in Mississippi will be the dominating school with the dominating curriculum in the state of Mississippi. It is not possible to stop it. It's not possible to thwart it. I just know, I have no disrespect for anybody in Mississippi and Louisiana, and I have no disrespect to anybody in that area. I'm just telling you right now, if you haven't gone to the Olympic Games, if you haven't coached anybody who's gone to the Olympics, if you haven't competed in Abu Dhabi, if you haven't competed in the MMA on a high level, if you haven't done all these things across the board, which I've done, medal at the World Championships, just all this stuff, and taught people who have won, taught world champions in jiu-jitsu, you're not going to be able to keep up with the way that I engineer the curriculum because you just don't know what I know. The reason why Jay's kids can go from 0 to the point where nobody knows them and start beating kids in a minute 15 is because they follow certain systems that you don't have in place yet. There are throwing systems, there are gripping systems, there are groundwork systems, there are scissor sweep systems, There are choking systems. There are Keisugatami systems. There are certain systems that these kids will practice. I have to tell Jay to stop practicing with his kids.
That's very true. Because I will practice them like no other. We're on the same page.
I want to make this point. What kind of grades do your kids make in school?
Straight A's. JR has 100 average right now on every subject.
And let me tell you something. I would not train his kids if we weren't on the same page with.
Right. All of my kids all have straight A's. In fact, on my competition team, everybody has straight A's except for one who has 1B. That's part of the requirement.
That is
you got to study.
You have to. You will not be a client of mine if you are not studying or you don't have the capacity to study or the propensity for studying, because you cannot be disciplined unless you're a disciple. And in order for you to be a disciple, you have to study. Let me tell you something. I'm going to give you a tip that Jay put me on to. There's a website called IXL.com. He told me that his kids were doing IXL every day. I know we're talking about IXL every day. He said, well,
every day.
Listen, my children, my kids, Rhadi does IXL 3 times a week because she's 3 years old. She's on the preschool right now. Rufus does IXL every day. He is beyond grade level in terms of his math and his science. Unbelievable. And they just added language arts on IXL, if you didn't know, Jay.
They did. Yeah, they did. And we're doing it now.
Yeah, exactly.
We're not messing around because you got to prepare for a life after judo and jiu-jitsu, right?
Correct. Which a lot of people don't do.
Yep. I want to add one thing that you mentioned earlier about when you were talking earlier. I can tell you I've been around some world champions and I've been around some supposed great BJJ and judo instructors, and I am telling you right now, I'm telling you for a fact, because, well, let me back up. I invest my money wisely, and if I wasn't getting results from Sensei Ferguson, I can assure you there would not be a check. That's exactly right. That's it. There's not, because I run my martial arts just like I run my law business. Either there are results or there are not. There's not any in between. You're either winning or you're not. And if you're not winning, that's the point. And I can tell you that I've been around some of those people, and they cannot coach. There isn't a system. Some of them don't even know what they did and how they won. And I'm telling you, I've been there. I've trained there. I've been all over. Because when I went on this hunt for Dr. Ferguson, I literally went all over the country. I went everywhere. I didn't just sit on Google. I hopped on a plane, and I went everywhere that I could find to go to try to train and see what people were implementing. In fact, there's one here, local person here, and there's no system. There just isn't anything, and for whatever reason, they can't coach. Maybe they were great on the mat, but for whatever reason, they can't coach. They can't do it.
Let me ask you a question. Did any coach you had before sit down and analyze and watch film with you?
Oh, my God, none. None of them have any clue, and I can tell you, if you've not sat down with Dr. Ferguson to watch film, you have absolutely no clue what you're talking about. And I think I said this to you actually earlier in the week, and I want to say it again. Everybody thinks they're an expert on NFL football. And if they were, they'd be in the coach in the NFL. The fact of the matter is they're ignorant, and they don't have any clue. And so to have a conversation with someone who is ignorant is very, very difficult when you're at the level that Dr. Ferguson is. Because I can tell you, I'm not even close on his level. He's probably given me maybe 5% of what he knows. And I am still way beyond in my coaching abilities than anybody around there. I just found that's what's happening. I'm only doing what he taught me. I'm just doing the systems that he taught me. And, you know, if people out there are going to be listening to this call and say, he didn't know what he's talking about, this, that, and the other, I'm telling you, you are ignorant. You're not stupid. You're just ignorant, like I was for years and wasted years of my life. It is just cut it, stop it is all I can encourage you more than anything else. Buy everything that he sells. Buy all of it. Because to be honest with you, before you even have a private lesson with him, you need to watch all those DVDs over and over and learn it, because you won't even understand some of the stuff. This is definitely on a PhD level, what he teaches, especially in a private lesson. It's very, very high level. It's very, very different, completely different than any way I've ever trained. You know, in fact, I forgot to mention, and I don't want to say who the guys' instructors were, but they are high level, nationally known in BJJ. And we got a purple belt at my school now who's trained with these instructors. I'm having a white belt tap him. And we're not even starting up in judo. We're on the ground. My white belt is tapping him.
I can tell you this. I've had some students come by my school now, and I just started my judo jiu-jitsu school in Tampa, and I've had some students come by from out of town, and I have a 3-stripe blue belt from another school who's been training with me. And for the past 6 months, we've been doing the scissor sweep. And I had a student come in from out of town, and he was rolling with my student. And my student told him, yeah, man, for the past 6 months, we've been doing the scissor sweep. And the guy said, well, you must have it perfect by now. He said, man, not even close.
Exactly. Exactly.
But understand this. A lot of people think that once they do it once or twice in practice, or you've done it for a month, that they can just move on. It's not possible it's not possible for your son to perfect Uchimata even in 3 years.
No. There's just too much. People just don't have any clue. I'm just telling you, and this is why, even on my competition team, I have some students that are on my competition team that still it's hard, as my mom would say, to lead the horse to water, but you can't make them drink. And it's hard to get them to drink the water. Even though they're watching it and they're seeing it, they're still not 100% invested, willing to do what it takes to become perfect at just one move.
Listen, in Olympic level weightlifting, you know there's only 2 lifts in Olympic level weightlifting, right?
I actually didn't know that, but
right.
I do now.
There's the clean and jerk and the snatch. That's it. Understand that people train 15, 20 years in order to perfect 2 lifts.
That's incredible.
How in the hell are you or anybody else listening to this call, how do you think you're going to perfect the stiletto sweep, the flower sweep, the scissor sweep, the neon bicep sweep, neon belly, the arm bar from the guard, arm bar from the mount, arm bar from the... What are we talking about? You would be better just to say, you know what, I'm going to become good at Jujigatami, and I'm only going to learn Jujigatami. That's it. At least you'll be an expert at it, and then then everything can branch off of Jujigatami. But man, you can't possibly be switching move to move to move within a year thinking that you're learning anything. I can tell you right now, for the first 2 years, Jay's kids did the same sheet and chart that I gave in terms of the moves. I didn't do anything but switch up the amount of time and reps. As they got more efficient, I jammed in more reps.
Yeah, that is just, actually, I had no idea about weightlifting on that. But that is exactly what we're talking about. And judo and jiu-jitsu. It's exactly what we're talking about. You've got to be able to do that, or you're not going to be any good at anything. And as my mom would say, you will be what I call or what she calls a jack of all trades and a master of none.
Listen, in law, you have only 3 parts of in terms of law when it comes to a case. You have your opening, you have your closing, and then you have your argument in the middle. That's it. How long and how much money have you invested on learning the arts and secrets of closing?
Oh my goodness, it's north of 100,000. I can tell you that right now.
Last time I was at your house, you had a book in it on the art of closing.
Yes, just on that. That was it. And that's what I read. And I read. That's also why, in part, I require all of my students to do well in school, because if you're not willing to learn and willing to read, well, you can't get good at judo and jiu-jitsu. It's not possible.
It's not possible.
It's just not. So, no, that's exactly right. In fact, to be honest with you, equating this to my law practice, I only do 4 areas of personal injury. Other lawyers do like 50, and I can...
This is the end of part 1. please go to part 2.